Good day, good day! It's the Duchess of Yorkshire Pudding coming to you. I thought today I would tell you about my travels from the Lemon Drop Village in the carriage on my way to Yorkshire Pudding. Would you like to hear that story today? You will? Okay, then let me tell you. It was a lovely carriage, actually. It was absolutely gorgeously appointed. The Duke had spared no expense, and there was 4 horses. It was wonderful. They were beautiful white horses, and it was a very smooth ride. And there were windows in the sides of the carriage, giving me a great view of the countryside. I had not seen much of the countryside, you see, because I grew up in Lemon Drop Village and hadn't gone far from home ever. So I was enjoying the wonderful view of the rolling hills and the farmlands and the mountains. It was quite breathtaking. So I was enjoying that view when I heard a sound out in the distance, almost like a weeping. And I wasn't sure what it could be. I thought maybe it was some odd bird that lives out here. So I asked the driver to stop as I noticed something sitting on a rock. And when we got closer and stopped, I noticed that on this great big boulder, there was this little creature, and he was crying, just as I thought it was someone sobbing. So I stepped out of the carriage and I walked over there to this little creature. And this little creature looked up at me with these sad, sad, sad eyes. I felt so bad. He was so frightened. And he looked at me and he was crying. And I said, "What is wrong, friend?" And he looked at me and he said, "I've lost my home and I have nowhere to go." I said, "Well, there's plenty of homes out here in the forest. I'm sure that you can find somewhere. Do you live in a tree or a cave?" And he goes, No, I had quite a nice little home out in the forest, but the hunters took it down and they took my family away and I'm all by myself and I don't know what to do. I'm so scared." I said, "Well, why are you out here on this rock?" He goes, "This boulder? This is a special boulder. Of course I'm on it." I said, "Well, what makes this so special? It's just a boulder." And he said, No. This is the brave boulder." He said, "This is a very, very special boulder. It gives the people courage when they sit on it." I said, "Do they? They get courage?" And he said, "Yes, they do. And I can't leave the boulder because I'm too scared." I said, "Well, you know what? I think maybe you're strong enough." And he goes, "Oh, no. And I tried to lift him off the boulder and he cried harder. And I thought, well, what am I to do? And just then I looked down and there were little shards of the boulder. And those shards were sitting on the ground out in front of the boulder. It was quite interesting. And I had an idea. So I kneeled down and I picked up a few of those shards in my hands. And I looked over at him. And I said, "Do you have a name?" And he said, "Yes, my name is Sebastian." I said, "Okay, Sebastian, I have an idea. I have all of these shards of this boulder that I have just gathered off the ground. And if I take these with us, then you will always have a bit of the brave boulder with you so that you can have courage." And he looks at me and he was thinking and he decided, "Well, that's a lovely idea. You would really take me with you?" And I said, "Absolutely. You can have a home with me at the Kingdom of Yorkshire Pudding." And he said, "Yorkshire Pudding? I've never heard of such a place." I said, "I hadn't either. Let's go check it out." And so I reached over and he climbed onto my arm and I brought him into the carriage. And there he sat and we chatted all the rest of the way to Yorkshire Pudding. And to this day, when I tell stories to children, I bring little shards of that boulder because I've been back there multiple times. And I always gather up some shards every time I go because all children need a little bit of help because a lot of the world is scary. And so every time I tell stories, not through this magic mirror that I'm speaking to you today, But when you see me in person, I will have shards of the brave boulder for you, and you can carry those shards with you everywhere you go, and you will always be brave, and you will always have courage, and things won't be so scary. I think it's wonderful to have something like that. So I'm happy to share that bit of the brave boulder with you. And when you see me in person and not through this magic mirror, you can also meet Sebastian. See, Sebastian's quite scared of magic mirrors, so he would not come join with me today. He's still scared even with the brave boulder. It's something I'm working on. So next time you see me, if you see me in person, please, please, please ask, and I would be happy to both introduce you to Sebastian and to give you a little piece of that brave boulder. And until then, you have a wonderful day. And it's been lovely, lovely, lovely speaking with you. I hope to see you in person soon. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Good day, good gentles.